you know I love a good boycott. But Monique is calling out for a boycott for Netflix because they offered her $500 million.
500K.
I'm sorry.
Shit, I'm about to say.
My bad. Y'all not be fucking up. $500K, and she wants to negotiate up because of her resume or whatever. And because they offer Amy Schumer $10 million, and then of course the legends Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock
11, and then she renegotiated for 13.
Oh, okay, yes, that okay. So
she ain't funny at all.
She's not a funny comedian. However, Monique, I understand her sentiment. She makes great points. However, people are not going to. People don't agree that she's worth it. Netflix is a business. What do you guys thoughts about?
I honestly, I am not mad. This is how I feel about it. I'm not a great Monique fan.
You know,
but I was talking about this to my friend. I know. Black, huh? Oh yeah, you see me trying to shake it off this time. But anyway, I hear a lot that black men don't stand up for black, women. You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all are definitely our biggest, supporters.
Yes.
So it's crazy because most of what I was saying was women saying like, "Oh, she's crazy." Like I said, like, well, why wouldn't she ask for more money? Like you think about it at your job. Everyone's trying to get over. You probably don't think that you make what you should be making. What's the difference with Monique? Right. And that is a huge significant because, like, Netflix, I've seen, I don't know what they've offered, other comedians on, on there, but I've seen other comedians have shows on there that I don't think are as good as her or have the seniority or, like, the clout that she has. So, from 20 million to 500K,
I don't know what
that's a huge,
those people, but I'm not knocking her for negotiating her salary at all.
I'm just saying boycotting Netflix.
Closed mouths don't get fed, but I'm not boycotting Netflix under any circumstances because, first of all, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I pay them every month, and I'm watching these streaming services. That's not happening. But aside from that, I feel like it was a business decision. Yes. If they don't, your resume, yes, and you know what I'm saying? You have an Oscar, and that carries a lot of weight with it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Oscar award winning before your name, that carries a lot of weight with it. However, if they don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that is past stuff. You got that for Precious was how long ago? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, what have you done for me lately? Where we would feel like you're going to draw in a big enough crowd to earn that millions of dollars. Honestly, I don't see it. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I love the Parkers. You know what I'm saying? That was my shit. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm about to go flocking to a fucking, you know what I'm saying, Monique stand-up special. I'm not. And sit there. You want $20 million to talk about skinny bitches all day.
I don't think she wanted 20 million, but 500K, not even a mil. At least $1 million.
I mean, they could have gave her an M. I definitely, but at the same time,
because what has Amy Schumer did lately?
Well, that's the thing. She kind of.
Well, she had a movie last summer. She had a movie. They said she had a movie last summer, and she
sold out Madison Square Garden. So
and this is a recent year.
You're right. Now you're thinking of it from the business. So I have to take my personal bias because she's not.
My bad.
Just whatever. Go ahead. Whichever one.
No, you guys are right because you know what? I got personal with it, and I shouldn't because it's for business. Netflix is looking at it like, okay, we'll give you this opportunity, we'll give you this platform, but we're not giving you all that. We don't. Your draw is not as big as Amy Schumer's. Even if I don't think she's funny, there's plenty of other people who think that she's funny.
Like, well, the thing is,
because her movies aren't funny. But go ahead, continue.
The thing is, Monique is being very entitled, and honestly, that's rich people problems. Like, you're asking the black community to go to bat for you. Netflix isn't disrespecting the black community. They're not disrespecting you. They're just going off of what their business model is and what they think that they can make from the situation. They are offering you $500K. Your average person, your average black person at that, would do a lot of things for $500K. So they're like, man,
that's definitely not disrespecting the black community. Because they gave Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle tons of money. And
exactly. Right. So it's about, like they said, the anticipation. It's about what you can, if people checking for you. Nobody's really checking for Monique.
On my fucking investment.
But she is legendary, though. She is a legend. Monique is a legend. However, she's very entitled because you're going by the old model of, this is what I've done. Now, this internet age, if you're not relevant, you're not getting the coin. Like,
but that's what she's mad about, because she felt like Amy Schumer negotiated her salary based on her resume, but then they basically saying like, we don't consider that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's things she's done recently, and that's what the whole demeanor with this is. What have you done for me lately? Okay, if you was popping 10 years ago, that means nothing to me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if your flash and the pan is sizzled, it's kind of, turned into, it's really nothing popping with you right now.
Her fan base just isn't big enough, because honestly, Chris Rock, he hasn't done anything recent, but he has a fan base.
That's not true though. He stayed hosting the Grammys. Like, he has that relevancy. He is like on social media.
He's around a lot more than she is, though.
Right. He's doing stand-ups every now and then around the area.
And he's legendary stand-ups though.
And he's legendary. And then one of the things that me and Chris was talking about, a lot of female comedians aren't where like your Steve Harveys and your Kevin Hart's are, because their content is not that universal. They just talking about pussy dick, and then Monique, she's talking about that and
she's talking about skinny bitches.
Versus a Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, everybody can relate to what they're saying. They're making that stuff not just for men; they're doing it for everyone. So that's probably why
controversy. A lot of you know what I'm saying, like. You get a Dave Chappelle, it's going to be controversial. The name alone, you already know. I got to tell you this, because this nigga going to be wilding.
And we'll know where he been at. He took a hiatus.
Exactly. So you automatically feel like, off the history of the show alone and his previous stand-ups, like, I already know he's going to say some wild shit. That shit's going to be funny. Let me check out. When I hear Monique got a special, it's like, oh, true, we're Stranger Things. Anyway, like,
but you know what? She was blackballed unfairly, though, I think. And she explained on CNN, I wanted to play that clip of why, because people forget why she was blackballed, and they just like, oh, she's just difficult to work with.
Oprah played her ass.
But not only that, so this is what
I hate Oprah. I don't want to go into why.
Oh my God, we have to go into that, because niggas love Oprah.
She may cut me.
But so this is why Monique was blackballed. Basically, this was Lee Daniels explaining why you have to play ball in this industry, and she was previously saying how she did pressures for $50,000. That's chump change. So, for a movie, but she said that's her friend, so she did it. She might have played herself back then for taking such a low number. Because a lot of people...
Nigga, what?
Yes. For taking such a low number. And people may look at that and not even looking at the context when Lee Daniels was her friend. They're looking at, okay, her price is low. We can get her for $50K.
Yeah, you sold just so short with that one.
To get it up, but a lot of people a lot of people do that. I think Leonardo DiCaprio with that Hunting movie or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I didn't watch it. It was in the snow or some shit.
Yeah, that's all like that.
But he took a pay cut because he thought that he could get an Oscar. So a lot of people do that, but some people don't come out on top.
They have been owed that man. He should have won the Oscar long time ago.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But when I recently researched, Oscars increase people's value, men's value, way more than it increased women's value in Hollywood. And of course, there's a pay gap between women and men in society. But then I don't think that's not our fight. That's white women's fight, to talk about the pay gap in the gender pay gap. Because at the end of the day, black people make way less money than white people, period. Right. So that's a whole nother thing.
Let's level that out first.
Right. We have to level that out.
The gender situation.
Exactly. White women, they have to deal with that gender situation. We have to deal with the racial situation. But this is why Monique was blackballed.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is that. Like, I feel like it's just... They don't see that you're going to bring in a return on that.
You didn't play the game. You had difficult demands.
I want to address it for the order that it went in. And when Mr. Daniels say I had these demands, it shocked me, because I was saying to the screen, Don, please ask them what the demands were. Mm-hmm. And actually, there were no demands. There was a request from the movie studio. And they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully decline. Because if you can remember, at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually in the award season of the awards. And I'm also a wife, and I'm a mommy. So when they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. So when we said we respectfully decline, the movie studio called back again. And they said, okay, well, we'll upgrade her hotel room. And my husband simply said again, we respectfully decline. She's gonna take this time with her family.
Yeah.
Well, when the third call came, and they said, what is it gonna take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So
you're saying that because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to feed your family and pay your bills?
I think that's what America says.
Yeah.
I think we all say, I can't do it for free.
Right.
So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request. We simply had a request, and they said they couldn't do it, and we said we understood. That was it.
So to me, that changes kind of like the trajectory as her being a difficult person to work with.
Right.
They paid her pennies
You
compared
gave
to
me
what.
fucking peanuts to do a movie role, and you want me to spend out of that $50K that you
Right.
paid me to go to France for promo. Nah,
Upgrade my room.
Ooh, what they do,
Right.
Basil? Like, nah, you gonna have to finance this. But then that couple that with the fact that she want to be with her family, let that
Right.
woman cook. Like, shit.
Let her be home with her family for free than to be out there. If you're taking it, say she did want to say, okay, I'll take my family with me. $50K ain't gonna pay the bills and take her family on a
Right,
trip.
nah, I gotta dip in my $50K to come here for
Yes.
work, for a work trip. Nah, bruh, nah.
Right.
Y'all better write that off and run me my dollars.
Wasn't Tracy Ellis Ross complaining about her pay as well on
Yes,
Blackish?
because she paid way significantly less than Anthony Anderson, but
they about neck and rolls, so that's
but
kind of.
my nigga though, Anthony Anderson has EP credits. He's the executive producer on that show. So people don't put that into context. They're like, oh, she won an Emmy. Like, okay, but that's not Anthony Anderson's fault that she makes less than him. Maybe that's her agent's fault. Maybe she wasn't popping like that on a grand scale before this.
Do you think as men, we can say it's not his fault, but do you think that we can say, hey, like it's kind of like with the Jamel Hill situation on ESPN. They had two different co-hosts who were going to go on the show. Like Michael Smith said, I'm not going to do the show without her. And then they were going to replace them. And they were like, oh no, we're not replacing anybody. So then ESPN had like no choice but to put her back on the show.
Yeah.
So you think, man, can we say, this is a great show. This show is not a show without her.
Right.
What can we do? I'm not saying he has to, but maybe we can take some from my check. You know what I mean? Like, people do it like, I don't know if this is a great analogy, but like people do it like in sports. Tom Brady, arguably the best quarterback now or ever, he doesn't get paid the most because they spend their money in other places. Like basketball players, Kevin Durant, do it. Hey, we want to like.
You got to because that's a team. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you great, but you ain't got nobody surrounding you that's going to keep you there, then you gonna take an L. But
see,
they could do that. But I mean, he does have, you know what I'm saying, his role and then executive producer credits too. So that, I mean, like, is this like a ballpark lump sum sort of situation, or you paying me X amount for executive producing and X amount for the role? Because that kind of matters. If he's
I'm sure it's like two different checks.
Right, because if he's getting paid XYZ for the role, and what are you making for the role now, that's a significant difference, and then you have an issue, but then that requires you to break down all up in that man's pockets.
Which he's not going to do. Anthony Anderson, it seems like he went for power and she went for awards. And you can't, eat awards. You can't pay for nothing with awards. So that was her choice.
Grammys.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like,
but when you make this a gender thing, because they always do when it comes to us, that pits us against the men. This is not a thing against Anthony Anderson. This is the thing with her agency or that company or whatever.
Negotiated your salary.
Right. And then she put out a statement saying that that's not, she didn't say all the people are claiming her to say, which is fine, but, the reporters didn't contact her to get her quotes or anything like that. So maybe this is going out of proportion. People talk probably, I don't know. But we shouldn't make this a gender thing when it comes to black people, because at the end of the day, white people they're the companies that own shit. They're the companies that are the networks. So
my thing is, are you making what you feel like you worth? I'm not going to sit here and count everybody else's coin. Are you paying me what I feel I'm worth in this show? Because if I'm satisfied with my salary, I can't sit here and be like, oh man, but then you make what? Damn. Well, I felt like I was doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of just, I get it, you know, the wage gap situation, I understand it, but
everybody can't be paid the same amount.
Everybody's not going to make the same amount. Like, that's just.
But still, like, even people, a lot of feminists rallied around the young lady who was in the movie with Mark Wahlberg, and he made $1 million to redo, $1.2 million to redo the scenes without Kevin Spacey because, you know, he was a perv or whatever. And she only got 1,000 or under 1,000. But she even said, like, I didn't ask for nothing. Like, her agent probably didn't ask for much because she's like, oh, I feel so strongly against this sexual predator that I will do it for free.
Right.
And Mark Wahlberg was like, no, I need my coin. So but they rallied around her, but they told Monique to, you know, like, you need to be apologizing, you need to suck it up.
Right, it's like closed mouths don't get fed, so I'm not gonna knock her for going for her coin.
Yeah.
Damn,
right.
Like, I'm shooting for the moon. Like, hey, look, nah, but all right, well, can we work it out somewhere in the middle?
But I ain't boycotting.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's boycott worthy.
That's crazy.
If they disrespected her, that because we all can see why she's not worth what other people who are more relevant is worth. Now, if they really straight up said, no, nigga, we not giving you nothing for this, then that might be a different story. You know what I'm saying? But we might be having a different conversation.
Is that not her resume? Why don't they negotiate my resume? And I'm like, well, nigga, because your resume is about 10 years old, sis. Like, it ain't nothing on that joke.
Right.
Recently.
They got too many free movies for me to boycott them.
I would boycott, well, all free movies, free shows and all, I would boycott. They're not free, they're just, you know, just $7.99 a month. But I would boycott if they disrespected us. Or $9.99, whatever the fuck.
I got the family. I got the 4-screen plan, so I pay $11.99.
Oh, I might pay that too. I don't know. It just they take it out, whatever. It's only a couple. I know it ain't more than $20. I know that.
I'm about to boycott Netflix if we paying two different prices.
No, I just don't.
Did you get grandfathered?
I just don't realize. But yeah, I just don't want them to make a situation where they distract us for looking at saying like, look at your black male counterparts and what they're doing and what they're making when we lose focus of actual power and control over these white corporations. And the Jews, let's be clear, the Jews created Hollywood to look out for other Jews. They didn't create it for us. Right. So we can't go into somebody's house and say, why don't I have a room? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. And I really want her to stop using black people to beg white people for shit. The blackest thing she could have done was say, if I feel like I'm not worth this, I'm going to do my own stand-up. I'm going to do my own shit. And I'm going to shop it around and see what I can get. Or if not, I'll put that shit out on YouTube. Give me
Showtime with what you call
anything.
Because the same thing with Wanda Sykes.
Title. Like, somebody. Go holler at somebody.
It's just that, I mean, honestly, we don't have those huge we don't own those huge platforms.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to.
So it's like, where else are you finna pay this? But I feel like for you to come to us, like, we need to boycott because you don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody boycotted, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't get what I'm supposed, if you're not gonna offer me what I feel like I'm worth, I'm gonna respectfully decline, just like you respectfully decline to fly your ass to Cannes. No, thank you. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Leave it at that. But I feel like, I mean, I get it, but I feel like you don't need to be turned down no money right now.
I mean, she could create. If I was her husband really has been putting her career through the ground. But aside from that, because I believe in black marriage, I would be like, look, you want to take this $500K, you're going to make this special undeniable to the fact that the numbers go through the roof. Everybody gets word of mouth. People not checking for you, but if it's a bomb ass stand up, people going to tell people about a stand up that's bomb. So word of mouth, get your build up next year. Or later on this year, renegotiate and be like, I brought this.
She ain't taking a long shot. You need something on your resume.
You can't feel entitled. And I think that's her generation's problem, that they feel entitled because of how old they are and the things they've done.
It's a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Who do 10 years and then come home back to the rip. He still think he's going to get that same respect because all the work that he used to put in.
Right.
When these new niggas like. Okay.
That's cute. Jay-Z falling right now. That's cute. Jay-Z falling right now because that's a perfect song.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, seriously.
But $500K, maybe to me because I don't got $500K.
Right.
Shit, take that.
$500K when I ain't booking in no work. Let me go ahead and get that. I feel like she not thinking long shots.
Like, to me, where is she getting 500K
Sweetie,
from?
you need to put something on your resume from this decade. And you need
Exactly.
it ASAP. So I would have did the show off the strength.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I'm going to take this 500K and I'm going to flip it and make it work for me. But now
Next
I
time
have
around,
something on my record. When
I
somebody's
need $5
asking,
million.
well, what you got going on? Man, well, my Netflix joint popped. What's good? Now we're going to offer you more money because we see what you're drawing in. But I feel like paying you 500 bands for something that could flop or no. I mean, you better just take what you can get because you ain't really doing nothing else right now. And I don't feel like it's boycott worthy. I feel like it was a business decision. And you have to put yourself in the shoes of the same proprietors that you are paying them to basically like, okay, if it was me, you got to understand the nature of the beast in order to defeat it or even work within its system.
And that the beast evolves. This is not 1990 now. This is not 2005.
This
is not even 2010.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I like want this comedy special, whatever, but she ain't really getting nothing going, man. Listen, sweetie, business. Would you pay somebody whose resume a decade ago was popping but ain't did shit in God knows how long?
But the crazy thing is, everybody don't even have a show on Netflix. So for them even offering to her, to me, means something.
An opportunity to get the
They didn't have to give you an opportunity at all. Like I said, I'm not mad at her. But obviously they feel like she can be some type of asset to their business. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, when I always go through there. It'd be like the same comedians. They don't have a wide variety of comedians. So obviously they see something in her.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just to wrap this up though, I just want to definitely clarify that I think she's a legend. I think she has paved the way. I do think that she has cared about the Black community for a long time. She was one of the first people to talk about mass incarceration. I remember, I think it was in 2005 or something like that. When she was popping, she didn't really have to. She did a doc on that. So I respect her, and I do think she understands racism and white supremacy. However, I don't think that she understands the business. And if you're trying to do business with these, white people or Jewish people who own the industry, you kind of have to prove yourself unless you want to boss up and get your own shit popping.
Right. Facts. All right.